Excuse me, was Mr. DeGuerin debriefed by the government after his interview? Was it? I know you're respecting confidentiality, but did he bring back any information that you could find useful?
Question is, was a debriefing, did it take place with Mr. DeGuerin following his meeting? We did meet last evening following the conclusion of his meetings with those in the compound. Again, we did not want to violate the privileged communications that took place. Our concern was, how were these meetings going? Did he believe that he was making progress toward getting this issue resolved? He expressed some optimism. He believes that he's developed trust with those in the compound. He would not discuss the parameters of the issues discussed. He did indicate that he was somewhat disappointed. He thought that it might be resolved yesterday. He will be going in again today. We have the same situation where he will be going in and should have, in fact, I was notified he went in at about 9:52 a.m. this morning. He will go until probably around noontime, where he will take a break and make an assessment if it's worthwhile. If it is, he will probably go back in again around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Yes, sir.
After your discussion with Mr. DeGuerin, are you feeling more optimistic? Is it still guarded?
The question is, what is our level of optimism? I must say that it has not elevated any. I cannot characterize it any more than guarded optimism, and that was what I did yesterday. Yes, ma'am.
Did Mr. DeGuerin bring back or hint that there are developing any terms for a surrender or, conditions?
The question is, have terms for a surrender been developed? He did not indicate that that had taken place. He indicated that they had discussed many important issues. The issues do continue to remain focused. They do not get sidetracked into other areas. They are focusing on what it will take to get the final issue resolved. And so with that regard, he remains optimistic. Yes, sir, right here.
Are you at all concerned, since you're not monitoring DeGuerin's activities inside the compound, are you at all concerned that they possibly could be altering any evidence inside?
Question is, are we concerned they may be altering evidence? Are you saying as a result of his being there?
Yes, all day yesterday.
I would be very surprised if Mr. DeGuerin was participating in that type of activity. Obviously, if he did, he would be a participant in criminal conduct. He would also be a witness to crimes if he did not participate himself, and obviously would not be allowed to participate in the trial. So it would serve no interest on his part to do such activity. Yes, ma'am, right here.
Has the fact that Mr. DeGuerin has been negotiating or talking with his client altered the plans that were forwarded to Washington for review for a possible offensive maneuver?
Question is the fact that Mr. DeGuerin is speaking with David Koresh, has this altered any plan submitted to Washington with regard to a tactical resolution?
Yes, for some offensive maneuver that you might take.
The answer is I don't know what plans you're specifically referring to. We, of course, have many options that have been placed on the table, which, again, I've said I will not get into what our tactical procedures might be. But our first option has always been, from day one, is to peacefully resolve this matter. We want nothing more than for Mr. DeGuerin to succeed in his enterprise here today. We do not want to have to get down to a tactical situation. We do not want to be forced in that by Mr. Koresh trying to get us to respond to any forceful actions that he might take. That is not our desire. You have a follow-up?
The follow-up to that, has Mr. DeGuerin's contact with Mr. Koresh given you an indication that you may not have to use whatever options might be on the table?
Well, of course, Mr. DeGuerin's reason for being there is to try to peacefully resolve this. This is one of the many areas that we've tried to implement to get this done. And of course, as I indicated, we want this to happen. If it's peacefully resolved, we obviously have no need to follow up. Yes, back here.
Yes, two questions. One,
If you have not spoken as negotiators with anyone inside the compound since Mr. DeGuerin had these conversations yesterday, is he a de facto outside negotiator for you at this point?
Question, is Mr. DeGuerin a de facto negotiator? He is not a de facto negotiator. The negotiations have in effect ceased from the aspects of the government, and what we have is an attorney representing his client, trying to get his client to come forward and do what is best for preserving future trials regarding these incidents. In other words, he's trying to say, I believe what is best for you and what is best in putting forth your defense would be to come out with me at this time. So we're not engaged. We don't want to act like that we're in sync with what Mr. DeGuerin is doing. He's trying to represent his client to the best of his ability. We're not trying to interfere with that process by trying to reinforce what he's saying. He is taking his best shot right now to get this matter over with. And we are not trying to interfere with that process. Follow up?
Yeah, the second question is, because he is in what is in effect a crime scene, because he has gone in and talked to these people and seen what they have in there, is there some question as to whether he's going to be able to represent his client in court, or will he in fact be a witness if this thing ever resolves in a trial?
Again, question is he a witness to a crime scene? Will he be able to represent the people there? I'm sure Mr. DeGuerin is quite qualified and knows how far he can go. He does not want to get involved in a witness situation. That is not his desire here. Obviously, if he overextended himself with regard to what was taking place in there, he could in fact jeopardize his ability to represent those there. He does not have any desire to do that. He wants to bring those people out and to ensure that whatever message they have or defense is properly represented by him at trial. Yes, you're on the back row.
We have seen somebody meeting Mr. DeGuerin stepping outside the compound. Do you guys have any idea who that might be?
The first day, it was reported that Mr. Koresh had stepped outside. In fact, that was Mr. Snyder who came outside and greeted him. Mr. Koresh did not come outside. The second day of the meetings, he went inside the compound. I don't know if someone actually physically came out. I'm getting head shakes. I did not observe the tapes of the second meeting. Yes, ma'am, right here.
With Mr. Schneider now speaking with his attorney, Mr. Zimmerman, would you all be willing to let any other attorneys go into the compound to speak with other possible clients?
The question is, would we be willing to allow others to speak with people in there or go inside the compound? At this point, we do not think it's productive. It appears that the two key leaders in this entire process are Mr. Snyder and Mr. Koresh. If Mr. Koresh decides that the matter is over and he wants it resolved, it will be resolved. We do not want to get in a situation where we have 100 different attorneys going into that compound. We could be here till next fall. I don't think any of us want that. What we want to do is have those people who are leaders, who desire counsel to make their final decisions, they will be afforded that opportunity. At this point, we only believe that affects two people. Yes, sir, back here.